Hello everyone, welcome to What You Talking About. Thank you as always for joining us. Today I have a super special episode. PRVN Fitness are opening their long-awaited HQ in Nashville this month, and I am beyond excited to welcome their brand new GM Mitch Harbaugh to the show alongside PRVN's CEO Nick Johnston. They tell us all about what's to come with the new HQ as well as the goals and plans for PRVN's season. It's a great episode. So as always, don't forget to like, rate and subscribe to be the first to hear all about our new episodes and content. Enjoy! Nick, Mitch, thank you both so much for joining me. How are you both doing?
Doing good. We are happy to be here. It's very nice to meet you. I know we've spoken a lot before this, but it's good to see your face.
Yeah, it's so nice, isn't it? And it's one of them things that I'm still clinging on to Zoom. From COVID, I'm still clinging on. I'm laughing because Mitch has just told me that you're both basically in the same proximity, but in two separate locations. I'm going to go to you, Nick, first, because this has obviously been a long time coming. PRVN HQ is coming. How are you feeling? Are you stressed? Are you all right?
Yeah, I think we're at the point now to where there's too much to even be stressed. It's just like every hour of the day, you check it off, you get it off, and then you hope it goes well to the next one. It's that kind of razor edge feel that as long as you're staying on the right path, you're going to be okay. And that's the great thing with having Mitch aboard now. This takes a lot of weight off Shane and I's shoulders to kind of make sure the gym side is going, because very few people have to open a facility like this, but then also have a whole different business on the other side that you got to make sure is keeping up. And as you know, this part of the season for the CrossFit world is insane. So right now, everything is great. Sleep isn't important right now, but that's okay. We're getting it all done.
No, it's not important, but it is. So we'll advertise that it is important, but sometimes you just got to get stuff done. Mitch, obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about obviously the inception and how you got involved, but how was it kind of coming in to the madness? Has it been good?
It's been great. We have such a solid team here where we're all being able to come together. Everyone's kind of wearing multiple hats as they go through. And so with Nick and Shane, obviously, and then we have, Dwight and one of our new team members, Jarrett, who works a lot with our pro athletes as well. Everyone's kind of been on board. And we've had such good local support from friends and family coming in and kind of helping set up the gym and unload all the equipment and lay down the mats, and all of our, partners that we worked with for that. And, for example, Nick had a ton of friends come down and help us out with that too. So it's been such a fun community effort that even though it's been a lot to do, it's been really fun to do a lot of those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And it's nice to, as you say, get everyone involved. And I'm sure pretty much everyone listening, obviously we are a CrossFit podcast, they're going to have heard of PRVN. If they haven't though, for any reason, Nick, I'm going to shoot to you. Can you just tell us a little bit about where PRVN came from? Obviously the last few years has been so incredible for you guys, but just a little bit about the inception of it and kind of how it's gotten to where it is today.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's, as you probably have mentioned, the audience knows who Tia and Shane are at this point. The cool thing about this brand is that it was a brand that was never conceived or thought of as what it is today. It was more of, hey, there's this great woman and this great husband that has coached her along her journey, and there's been such a need to understand how that training worked, what got her to where she is today. And people just kind of clung to the idea of, hey, I want to figure out what I can do to get one step closer to my goals, like Tia and Shane have done in the past. So it was more of proving coming out of the fact that these guys just wanted to give out their product to the world in a more fashionable way than just seeing somebody at the games in their final form. So Tia and Shane started this in 2021. And that's when, like Jared said, Dwight and myself came on as kind of the first employees of the brand as PRVN. So the crazy thing, it's only been 2.5 years that all this growth has happened, which has been kind of just breathtaking when you think about it, and kind of hard to conceptualize with everything that's happened so far. But the growth plan so far has been so good. I came on in January to be in the CEO role and kind of bring this business plan to life more than just throwing programming on a website and hoping that it goes well. So now kind of our checks and balances of everything happening, and now with the building opening, we're exactly where we want to be to grow for a really long time.
It's crazy when you put that into, it's only been 2.5 years, because I think actually in terms of like training camps, which obviously you guys fall into that as well with all your pro athletes, it feels like they haven't actually existed for that long in terms of
Yeah.
now everyone's with one. Do you think kind of the growth of training camps has almost helped you in that way as well?
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because we were really on the forefront of, I guess people like to call the big three with HWPO, Mayhem, and us kind of having the stronghold when it comes to a lot of the higher level athletes. And it's been something we've had to figure out on the fly, to be honest with you. It's very few times you get to go into a very well established sport like CrossFit is, but then do something for the first time with a lot of people. So I think last year was a huge learning year for us. We grew really, really fast, and that was, part of my plan coming in. We've got to rip the Band-Aid off sometimes. But it's cool that we can find a foundation, lay the foundation, and know where we're going moving forward, and bringing it right back to this facility and this gym that we're building, having a home finally that we can have all of our athletes in one place, have a community growing behind us, and have that facility that is finally ours. It's just a piece of the puzzle that we were missing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I can't wait to come visit. So, Mitch, tell us a little bit about you. What's your background? How did you get involved with Proven?
So my background, I have been doing CrossFit since 2011 and coaching CrossFit since 2013. It's been the only like career involvement that I've really had my entire life since I was 18. I'm now a CrossFit level 3. And, across my years, I've lived in New Jersey and Florida and now Tennessee. And across that time, I've been able to work in a bunch of different gyms, a bunch of different communities, and then also learn and do a lot of different roles, getting to learn from some really great coaches and some really great leaders along the way. And my wife and I moved to Tennessee for her work. And, it's kind of like a funny full circle moment to say now, but when we were moving for her job, she was like, Proven's in Nashville. Wouldn't it be cool if they were like posting a job or you were able to work with them? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And at the time they didn't have anything, listed. And then we were here for maybe 5 months or so. And then they posted for the, general manager for the HQ role. And she was like, oh, you should totally apply. And so I did. And, now here we are.
There you go. She knew. It was always,
yeah.
It was always fate.
Just some good manifestation.
There you go. Exactly. And obviously for anyone who doesn't know, Proven was, a lot of, you've got athletes all over the world, but you have always kind of been with this base in Nashville. Was it always going to be that when there was HQ, it was going to be there?
Yeah, so it's been interesting, right? Because Tia and Shane moved over here in 2021 when we started up the business, and they were in Cookeville before. They wanted more of a kind of a metropolitan area that they could be in, a lot more people involvement and a good spot to train in. So it wasn't always the plan, but they built a house here the year after, so that kind of took us one step further into setting roots here. To be honest with you, we never had plans on opening this facility at that point. It was just one of those things that we were growing so fast. And being at East Nashville, we just outgrew the space so quickly. And we had a great time over there. The community over there is great. The facility is great. It's just one of those things that now that we see how well the community has responded to us in the U.S. and how fast we've grown with these people over here, we knew that our HQ needed to be in the U.S.
Yeah. And it's interesting you say that you didn't know it was coming. And I think, again, realizing that actually it's only been 2.5 years is crazy. But did it seem quite inevitable that HQ was coming at some point? And why do you think now is the right time?
Yeah, it was, like I said, out of necessity really now, just because we really needed a place. We never knew that we would be going this big, or that we would be making a full purchase into a building and really setting up a brick and mortar location. One day we'll come out with the whole story of how everything fell into place for this and how long of a process it was, because it's crazy. It's something that we've been working on since, I want to say, March of last year. And it was like a different update or a different roadblock was coming up every single month. And to be where we are right now is kind of a dream come true, to be honest with you. I don't think we have really pinched ourselves yet until we really open the doors. But to have this facility now with a full pro space, with a full affiliate, being able to have them right next to each other, it really is a dream come true for us. And Nashville, like, I don't know if you've been here. We're looking forward to having you, but Nashville is just such a growing area, especially in the fitness community. We can't think of a better place.
Yeah, it is my favorite city on earth. I'm very glad there's going to be another affiliate there. I'm looking forward to coming back to visit, and it's just another
Yeah.
excuse for me now. It's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's funny because we have a partner that's coming in the very front of our building at the full coffee shop build out, and I think people are more excited for that up front than they are for the affiliate.
It's such a great location, and I mean, it's my two favorite things in life. That it's like a city of country music and CrossFit and coffee. Like, what more could you like, basically?
Exactly.
I know you've been posting a lot of kind of like teasers on your socials. You've got your schedule out. Mitch, for anyone kind of whether they're going to be joining as a member or potentially because I'm sure you're going to get a lot of drop-ins. Tell us a little bit about the day-to-day of the affiliate, what's kind of going to be going on.
So initially, when we begin rolling out, we'll obviously have our group classes going on. And we did release our schedule on social media for like our Monday through Friday and Saturday class times. And that's going to be the initial focus for the group class side. So we won't have open gym and things like that yet, but it is something where we know that this is kind of like a multi-phase process as we begin opening for the community. We'll obviously, like Nick mentioned, we'll have our pro space where the pro athletes will have the things that they're doing kind of day to day as they prep and get ready for the season ahead of them. But really our main focus initially for anyone that's going to be a founding member or anyone that's going to be coming and dropping in is we know that the consistent thing of the day to day is we want to provide an amazing experience for our community. And we know that part of that is on the floor coaching and interactions and the relationships that we build. But also we have some really fun community events that we plan to do as we go through the first few months of being open. Obviously, we have the CrossFit Open coming up, and we have some really exciting things planned for that for our CrossFit community here. But what really excites me is the fact that we get to build this community here in Nashville with PRVN Nashville. And we get to have all these amazing things and day-to-day actions separate from obviously the group classes that are going on as well.
It sounds like it's going to be such fun. And it's interesting with the pro space because I talk about this quite a lot. I think with CrossFit and the way it's built and the way athletes have come, you will train next to people that are pros in the sport. You know, you can have someone going in literally for their first class, they can go in and train next to a games athlete. Is the kind of the goal with the pro space to separate that a little bit almost and give them a little bit more freedom and autonomy without having, you know, maybe distractions? Is that kind of the goal with the pro space?
Yeah, so it's really cool, right? Because from a micro level, this is just what we do to the public with our online programming, right? Like you can follow the same programming that Tia follows. Shane's giving you the same notes that he would give our athletes, but there's still that kind of barrier and that level where you're on one side, the pro athletes are on the other. We are going to create some sense of that here just because there's a wall separating the two, but there's going to be a lot of times that we're going to have our pro athletes go take a class. We're going to have them jump in with our affiliate. When we have seminars, they're going to be right there with everyone that you can train with. Obviously, as the season progresses and they get closer to the games, there'll be more separation there. And our members respect that. Obviously, everybody understands that is their job at the end of the day. But the really cool thing now is with how big this space is, they can jump into a class any single day and there's plenty of room from them. They're going to get to know all the members by name. And it's going to be a really cool atmosphere that not many people are able to have at this point.
I love that because I think that's something that as CrossFit grows as a sport, I don't really think many people want to lose that. It's, you know, you wouldn't, I always say like you wouldn't go onto a football field and train next to like Tom Brady, right? But you could do that with Tia. Like it's such a kind of personal bit of the sport. And you've also got a new project coming out as well with the PRVN One-to-One, Nick, if you want to give us a little bit of insight on that too.
Yeah, really exciting. So you guys, this is coming out next week. So by Monday next week, we're going to be announcing that our full one-on-one program is starting, and kind of a gist of what that program looks like is it's just you taking the exact same route you would take to want to be an athlete, or maybe it's just you have local goals that you want to work towards. You're going to get an individual coach. You're going to get its own programming. It's going to be very tailored around what our compete track looks like. So if you ever want to jump in with a workout that may be on the compete track, that coach can throw that in. You're still very much a part of the community, but you're going to get all those incentives of talking to somebody on a day-to-day basis. You're going to be able to send in exact video reviews your coach may want to see. They're going to be there for you to create competition prep schedules, whatever it may be. Those people are there directly for you. And we've got an awesome lineup of coaches. So this is kind of the big one that's coming out. The head of this program is going to be Tim Paulson. So he's actually going to be coming over with us full time, along with his old business owner at Forged by Zeus. They're going to both be coming under the Proven banner now. They're going to run that program from kind of the ground up and build that as we move forward. And then our third coach will be Joey Chatora, which you guys may know of. He's been a CrossFit Games team athlete for, I want to say, 6-7 years now, most recently on Team OBA this year at the Games. He's been a really long-term friend of Taylor and I's for the last, I think, 6 years. And he's just a great guy. And he's been in the individual coaching space for a long time.
What a team. You're getting them in, aren't you, Nick? You're reeling them in.
Yeah.
I love that. It sounds so incredible. And as you say, what a great opportunity for people to get involved, if they can't get to you guys in Nashville, which, is something that unfortunately not everyone can do, but I'm going to recommend they do because this space looks amazing. Mitch, obviously you're going to open and then you're going to be pretty much fully thrust into the start of the season with the Open. It's coming soon. It's going to be here before we know it. What are your kind of plans, like brand new affiliate for the Open? Have you got any fun things planned or like just kind of almost getting it over and done with?
So we're super excited for the Open. We'll obviously be preparing to host what many CrossFit gyms do, which is like a Friday Night Lights aspect, and kind of getting everyone ready to go. And I've been working a lot with Jarrett, who heads our pro athletes, on making sure that we have a nice interaction between when our group class members are going and when our pro athletes are working out. So we aren't 100% certain what we want that to look like yet, but we do know that the pro athletes and the community getting after this Open workout together is going to be very tight knit in that aspect. So between working with our partners and having them on site to do the workouts with us, and between the Friday Night Lights going on and just kind of like having fun community events throughout the Open, that's our initial kind of 10,000 foot view plan that we want to be able to do. And really the goal is just to provide a great experience where people get to challenge themselves. The Open is, to many of us, right, it's one of my personal favorite times of the year. And it's so fun because it gives us the opportunity to really come together as a community, to be able to work out and push ourselves and kind of do stuff we maybe thought we weren't aware of that we could do. So again, to get a little bit more specific, really right now, all we have planned is kind of like a Friday Night Lights to start, but it's something where we have a couple meetings set up where we're going to talk about the details of that specifically, how we want it to look, and then some kind of additional benefits that we want to do with it as well. But for now, it's just going to be the Friday Night Lights, and it's going to be something that we talk more about within the next 1 to 2 weeks as we prep for it.
Yeah. It's going to be here. So I can't believe we're already the registration's open. I'm like, hang on, that came out of nowhere. It feels like. And
every year it sneaks up on us for sure.
It really does. And I suppose as well, you're going to have this element of, obviously you're a new space, you're a new affiliate, which means you're quite likely you're going to get people that are brand new to CrossFit. Are you excited because what an experience for them? I mean, they may have no clue who some of the pro athletes are if they're brand new to CrossFit, but are you excited to get kind of total beginners in as well?
Yeah, I am super excited for us to have brand new people coming into the Foundations program. It's funny. One of the most frequently asked questions that we've been getting is, I'm not a competitive athlete. Am I able to come to Proven HQ? And Proven Nashville in this case? And the answer is obviously yes, right? We want to be able to service this full spectrum of people, from I'm a weekend warrior and I love to throw down with my friends, and we have pro athletes in the space, all the way to, okay, I've never done CrossFit before, and maybe I haven't even worked out in the past 10 years or so. And this essentially just comes down to us being able to provide a good quality service to the community. And it's also in part, I think, going to be successful because we have an amazing team of coaches here that are really passionate, really hardworking. And we know that when someone comes into the gym, we need to be prepared to meet them at the level that they're at, right? Not everyone's on the same page, not only physically, but also they might be a little bit intimidated by CrossFit if they've never tried it before. And so it's our goal to, besides making sure that the class is safe and that it is making them more fit and it's fun, that we also have the self-awareness as a team to meet people where they're at and to be able to help them on this journey. Because we don't want them to be, a member at our gym for only a month and then be like, this is too much for me. We want them to have a lifelong journey of fitness, and we want to be able to support them in their lifelong journey of fitness. So we're super excited for people to join that have maybe never tried CrossFit before and have no idea who any of the pro athletes are. And we're going to be able to help them the same way we'll be able to help people that have known about the Proven brand and Tia and Shane and the team since they've started.
For sure. I love that. It's such a good way of putting it. And Nick, obviously, start of the season for you guys, you've got kind of almost a distraction at the moment because you're building a space. What does this season look like for Proven at the moment?
Well, the really good thing is that just for us as a brand, we usually don't officially come back to training with the athletes until the middle of January. So thankfully, this lined up perfect for us. What we're going to be doing, and like we said before, we're basically sleeping here to get this place ready. Everybody's at Wodapalooza right now, which is great. So when they get back, we're actually going to be having our very first classes in here on the 20th, so the first Saturday. And that's going to be awesome because we're going to have our pro athletes back from Wodapalooza. They're going to jump in with the classes, and that, and that will be our first kickoff day with the pro athletes as well. So that'll be the first Saturday they're in here. We can finally all train together. These guys have been so patient, waited for this for so long. So it's just going to be kind of a cool way to throw down, sigh of relief for everyone. That sigh of relief may last about 24 hours because then we got to get back to work and make sure everything's ready for the season. But like Mitch said, it's going to be really exciting going into the open because thankfully we've got about a month there where we've got some breathing room before they officially kicks in with the open with those athletes. And it's just going to be great because Mitch didn't mention it because it is kind of fluctuating, but we really want to plan our grand opening around one of the weeks in the open. It's something that we wait all year for this huge event for the open. It's finally that time where our community can come together to have a grand opening where we can celebrate our partners. We can celebrate the founding members that'll be in here and have those people want to bring anyone in to refer them in as members. It's just going to be a great celebration for everybody.
It is. I think it's such a great time to open a gym because as there's that kind of, it's a meme or a quote, but it seems to come out quite a lot over the year, and it says it's a great time to walk into a CrossFit gym, but it seems like that quote's kind of always there, so there's never actually a right time, but it really is a great time. I'm going to ask you both some quick fire questions in a second that I ask everyone. You can answer them as coaches or athletes. But before I ask one of them, I'm going to see if I can get a down low. Nick, is there any rumours of a Proven team coming this year? Are we allowed to know anything?
Team? We don't have a team as far as our pro athletes go. We'll probably have some teams that pop up with our online athletes that are doing that for sure. But there will be nobody here in person on a team this year. We've got that queen back, so we got to make sure she's got a full open space to get ready for a championship this year.
There you go. Well, when you've got someone like that in your remit, you can't complain, can you? And actually, before I go into that, on the topic of that, do you guys find as coaches and just in general, like as humans, being around these pro athletes and people like Tia, who is obviously just incredible, do you find that it kind of makes you up your game as well?
Oh yeah,
for sure. This was something that I coached some teams that were at the games, but never at the level of obviously day one when I walked in, and it was Brooke, Tia, Alex Smith. Like you walk in on that day one and you realize that everything's a little bit different than it's ever been before. And that's the only way that we've been able to grow the way we have, right? Because instead of us bringing in people and trying to figure things out as we go, everybody's just upping their game and leveling up as we go. And that's the only way we've grown so fast. And that's just a big credit to Tia and Shane. As professional as they are and as high level as they are, they'll never make you feel that way. They're always going to be first ones to jump in, give you a hand, help you elevate what you're doing and your goals as a person and an athlete. But just to see the leadership that both of them have, and even Tia as an athlete while she is an athlete, but still on the business side, it's inspiring. And it's the only reason we are where we are today.
And yourself, Mitch?
Yeah, I totally agree. In the sense of from like a workout perspective, it's like watching on TV doesn't really do it justice to like how quick they're actually moving. So that definitely has a lot of motivation to continue and see what your own kind of like personal limits are. And then from kind of like a teamwork perspective, like Nick mentioned with Tia and Shane and the rest of the team, seeing how hard they work and the commitment to their craft also speaks to that kind of value that we have of embodying this kind of champion mindset where nothing is a loss or a setback, but just an opportunity to learn. And so when you're around these people on a professional side of CrossFit that have that champion mindset, not only in their training, but in the way that they approach teamwork and in the way that they approach their programming and just business in general, it really is something that continues to inspire me, and I know inspire the rest of the team to continue to work hard and always have that kind of comfort to take feedback from people, have clear lines of communication, and be able to improve the way that we function. Because again, everything with that champion mindset is an opportunity to learn. And so that just kind of continues to bring us all together and, like you said, elevate everybody on the team.
Mm. And it's so incredible. And now you're bringing that together in kind of one space. You're going to get so much of it. I am super excited. I'm going to look at flights when we hang up the phone. Yep. But right, quick fire. They never end up being that quick. But I'm going to ask you, you can answer as a coach, as an athlete, favorite thing to watch. But first question, favorite lift. I'll go Mitch first.
For me, the front squat for sure.
Nice. Nick?
Oh, I would say a good power clean is the way to go for me.
Nice. I'm going to come back to you then, Nick. Favorite overall movement in CrossFit?
Oh, man. This is, I haven't done many of these lately, but ring muscle ups were definitely one of my favorites back when I was training really hard. I think it was because of the complexity of learning them and getting the satisfaction of them coming along. That would definitely be my favorite.
Nice. Mitch?
I would say for me, not conventional, but the sandbag carry. I love it. It's just brutal. There's no hiding behind it. It's just, you got to pick a heavy thing up and walk with it.
Nice. And funnily enough, I actually think Nick Taylor said ring muscle ups as well, and she was on the show. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I've been trying to watch her, so I mean, it's just like that's probably Inception at this point.
She was telling me about the story how she basically manifested them almost, and it was amazing. I was like, that's so impressive. One of my favorite questions to ask, your favorite benchmark WOD.
Go, Mitch. What do you got?
I would probably say Cindy, just because push-ups are a weakness of mine. And so having to do so many and attempt to do them so quick is just like every time I do it, it just wrecks me. And I love that it's just a body weight workout that is a weakness of mine. And so it crushes me. And that's why I probably love it so much.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would say Diane. There was a time there where I was just so bad at handstand push-ups that I was doing Diane like multiple times a month. So it was one of those that like each time you got better. It just felt so good doing it. So there's some good memories on that one.
This isn't one of my questions, but what about when you're coaching, like especially with the newer athletes or people that haven't done benchmark WODs before, what's your favorite one to kind of watch people do and see like the reaction?
Well, I mean, Murph's probably, if you want to watch a reaction, that's always my favorite to watch, obviously, from like a gym management standpoint, because you could have 30 people in the gym all doing the exact same workout and not one single person looks the same. They're not feeling the same. And it's pretty good people watching at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for a benchmark workout, a favorite one to kind of watch and see the reaction, one of two would either be Fran or Grace. Because it's like people either have a little bit of an idea because they're like, they're told by the community, oh yeah, Fran, oh my God, you got to get ready for this workout. Grace is killer. So they either have a like perception of how awful they think it's going to be. And so they get kind of like hype internally to get ready to do the workout, or they just have no perception of how much it can be kind of like brutal. And then they go through the workout and they're just like, oh my God, that's one of the hardest things I've ever done.
It's funny you say that, because when I started this podcast and I was like, I'm going to have some quick fire questions, one of them was going to be, what's your Fran time? But it turns out not many people do Fran anymore. And some of these young athletes, they're like, oh, I've never done Fran. And I'm like, well, come on.
I think that's got to be like a PTSD from the gym owners these days. They keep putting it off and putting it off. That's a good thing about our programming, the White Love programming. So, whatever you get when
Okay.
you open your app that week, you're probably going to get Fran in there at some point.
Oh yeah, I would say I think since I've been doing the proven affiliate programming, I think I've done Fran twice now, and it's been brutal and great both times.
Well, there you go. We know it's in there. And then this is kind of why I asked you about the team question, Nick, because if you guys could, I know you've obviously had a proven team gone to the games last year, but if you could build a dream team to go to the games, who would you have on it? Can be past.
Go for it, Mitch. I might get in trouble with my answer here, so you just you take this one.
Me, I mean, I feel like this might not be the type of answer you're looking for, but I would love to be on a team with my wife who does CrossFit too. So this is like non-pro athlete team that I would love to throw down with. I'd love to go with my wife as one of the female athletes. We have another close friend who lives in Florida, Mandy, who is like a gymnastics background, and I've competed with her at Wadapalooza a couple times. So she's like a really badass elite level cheer individual that is also going to CrossFit, her for another team. And then I'd love to go with my brother as well. He competed at regionals under CrossFit Love back in the day when they were hosting them I want to say it was still maybe in Philadelphia at the time, or it might've been the Southeast, but that's what I would say for kind of like my version of an answer that is non-pro athlete based.
No, I love that. Is that going to get you into even more trouble though, Nick? Because he said his wife.
No, this is good. I'd pick my wife no matter what, always. Like that's a team athlete. But I'll go with our proven athletes currently who I would pick for our team. So Tia and Taylor would be the girls, and then Jay Crouch and Nick Matthew. So they'd have a very good shot at taking home a title with that team for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, just put Tia and Taylor as well. She is the queen of teams. Yeah. She's on it. There you go. Well, guys, Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm just, for anyone listening, if they are going to be heading out, where can they find you guys?
Yeah, so best thing right now is Instagram. We've got 2 pages, which is really cool that you can follow along with. Proven HQ is everything that Mitch is doing right now with the gym. So if you want to follow along with that, we're going to have some really cool coaches tips, a lot of content coming out for affiliates and gym goers on that, which will be a fun page this year. And then obviously our Proven Fitness page on Instagram as well as kind of our hub for all of our media and marketing going out.
Awesome. Well, I, for one, can't wait, and I wish you all the best, and I hope the next few weeks aren't too stressful for you both. I'm sure it'll be in there. But yeah, thank you so much for chatting. It's been so great.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.